Good people, what's up? What's good? You guys are listening to your favorite podcast, Connecting the Dots. It's your boy Caleb Smith.
And I'm Kimmy Coco.
And we got some brand new lights in the building, Kim.
Yes. I need my shades.
This week has been a crazy week. How's your week been so far, though, personally? Happy to be here, though?
Yeah, I'm happy to be back in Atlanta.
Happy to have you back.
Yeah, I was gone for over a week.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to be back. And I missed so much. I have to catch up on all what's going on. So yes. I'm going to depend a little bit on you guys this week.
And we got you.
So when I was gone, well, right before I left, we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but Bernie Sanders had a heart attack.
Yeah, he did.
So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about the thing that is going on with your president.
Yeah.
A lot went on with that.
Mr.
And
Trump.
Botham Jean case came to a close since we last have been here. And wow, what a wild ride that's been going on with all that.
Joshua Brown.
Yeah.
His neighbor being murdered as well. So that's another element.
And then we're also going to get into a little bit about Oprah and Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
They came to save the day once again.
They actually stepped up, man. I think that they were paying attention.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
Yeah. Oh, and also, if we have time, another shooting in Dallas, too, last night.
I figured that we would just kind of just roll all of that into each other.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, the other, when we talk about the campaign and what's going on and who's going to vote for who, whenever you listen to the previous episodes, and we always encourage you to go do that, so you can kind of catch up and go to ctdatl.com and check out some of Caleb's article, and then you check out ctd_atl on Instagram and also follow us on Facebook. But if you ever listen to any of the previous episodes, you always hear me say, okay, guys, who have you picked? Whose campaign are you backing? What's going on? And, the top few, Bernie, Joe Biden, Elizabeth, Kamala, people really haven't really chosen, but Jay Black usually says, he's for what Bernie is for, especially when it comes to student loan debt and all of that. But recently, people have been coming out saying, Bernie's too old, Joe Biden's too old.
Right.
And so one of the things that happened was that Bernie Sanders had to have surgery.
Yep.
And he said he was going to slow down his campaign, and they kind of didn't come out with it right away, but come to find out he actually had a heart attack.
Yep.
He had 2 stents put in. They made very light of it. The surgery was 45 minutes long. We know, Bernie. We know all about that. You had a clogged artery. They went in and fixed it. But then again, you're also 78 years old, and I'm sure your recovery is doing great, which you've gone out of your way to prove to us. I've seen interviews with him today where he's like throwing a baseball, for instance. He's trying to prove to us that he's fine. Okay. But we see the progression in of the pictures of people that have become president and how they age and the stress and all that. So, what do you think? And I tell you this all the time. Stop it with the old people. I've been telling you guys this. I say that all the time. Even ex-president Jimmy Carter, he's 95 years old. He did an interview recently, like people were interviewing for his birthday, and he was like, even 15 years ago when I was 80, I still wouldn't have been able to do that. Do the campaigning,
it's a lot of stress.
Do the traveling, have the capacity, of your mind and think swiftly enough to deal with foreign policy. He's like, no, y'all, stop it with the old white men. But nobody is stopping. Joe Biden is still number one.
Nobody's listening.
Bernie is stroking out on the campaign trail, and y'all are still like, you don't want to bother to try to pick somebody else, but you might have to.
Yeah.
You remember what we said the last time we met? I said the universe always speaks to us, right?
You just gotta listen.
You don't believe in global warming.
He's not ready.
Exactly.
And then too, I think on Bernie's part, what benefit do you get from pushing yourself like this instead of just being a team player, seeing somebody that's part of the party and telling them, I can be part of your cabinet, you can have my ideas, but I'm not the man for the job, and that's okay.
But that's what we see happening in life, even on social media, even with all this whole thing with entrepreneurship. I say this all the time. If people aren't the captain, they want to sink the ship.
That's it.
You can get behind somebody's campaign and have you as a policy advisor or whatever, a part of the cabinet, but no, you want to run for president, your old ass self, knowing damn well you're not healthy enough to do it. I think that's selfish.
Yep.
Even everyone that said, okay, like being honest, and I said this too, Elizabeth Warren has the same ideas you have. She comes up with the same, she has the same, you know, she's anti-big bank. She wants to regulate the money. She wants to help poor people. She wants to help students. She's got the same. And he like, yeah, she's my friend, and I'm going to let her run her own campaign. I'm trying to get this done. Word.
Yeah. And see, again, I think that speaks to that selfish mentality. And, you know, no knock on Bernie because I feel like he's a dope dude, but somebody has to take a step back. There's too many people that's part of this race. And I think for Bernie, he's the weakest link because he's just older, not because of his ideologies, but he's just not physically fit for it. If he was
even 10 years younger, I would be like, cool.
Yeah.
Just some stats. The average age of a person running for president is 55. I think the oldest president, like the day that he, on election day, I think it was 71. I think it was Ronald Reagan or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But
look at Reagan, though, and what people don't talk about. His wife admitted she was doing most of the stuff behind the scenes
because he had dementia or something. Yeah.
So, again, although the figure might seem cool, behind closed doors, we don't know what type of ailments Bernie has. And a heart attack before you even become president? So how many heart attacks are you going to have after you become president?
So, Jay Black, you still behind Bernie?
You don't care. Yeah.
But you can't implement the policy if you don't have the energy or the health or the mental capacity.
Me personally, I believe it's a team.
Yeah, so he's going to have to choose a strong vice president.
If he picks the right vice president.
I feel like the president is really just a spokesperson for the ideas of the group.
CEO somewhat. Like somebody else is from that. Yeah.
You know, I feel like those people can, put that plan of action in place. They know what he has it out. He has it written out. Like,
yeah.
It's like McDonald's. Like he has his template written out.
Yeah.
So it's just about him following it.
Yeah. That's it.
I like his campaign. I like what he like I said, what he stands for. And I feel like, if he was to die or something was to happen to him, that his team would step up.
Yeah. He's gonna need a great VP, a great cabinet. Stacey Abrams, I feel like she's still in the mix for being a VP for him or something like that. So that would be dope. We'll just see. Prayers out for Bernie though. Jay Black, I remember it was like 2 weeks ago when you said, what if he did that as pretty much a whole stunt? Just for more publicity, more attention.
Why did you listen to that?
But, I mean, we don't know. Because then, what was the tweet? He tweeted something about healthcare.
Where people are trolling now.
For attention.
Like, you feel me? And it's just like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of,
he's not trolling. He don't even know what troll is. He's too old for that.
Yeah, that's what people don't talk. Who's the girl? Simone Sanders, I think. What's her name?
Yeah, that's her.
Why'd you roll your eyes? Because a lot of people don't like her.
Because I don't have anything against her. I mean, she's doing what she's doing and what she needs to do. That's her.
She done traded teams too.
I mean, if that's who you are and that's what you do, you're gonna do it for whoever hires you to do it.
Who's paying you? Yeah, you're a mercenary.
It's not, you know what I mean? But for those of you that believe that the only way to get Trump out of office is to, wait till the next election and pick somebody, I'm not getting those vibes from just the overall collective of people. I don't know what people are doing. If you think Bernie Sanders is going to beat Donald Trump at his own game, I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you this.
It's just
I feel you, Kim. You know what I feel like? I feel as though I wish Gavin Newsom was not the governor of Cali right now, and I wish he was running for president.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the most formidable out of all of them because with him, he's actually done the work. He actually gets stuff passed. I mean, think about all the stuff he's doing in Cali right now. Fair to Play Act.
But this is easy to do in California.
Being a governor because it's lenient.
Because California is footloose and fancy free, and it's a blue state.
It's showtime.
Think about it. Every time, that was in California first.
Mm-hmm.
Was it legal in California first?
I think it was Washington and Colorado.
I think it was Arizona.
Yeah.
Colorado and then Cali.
Washington State.
Washington State. Yeah.
Fair Play Act. They was the first. Then New York, followed behind.
Yeah.
California is trendsetters for a lot of what's going on in the world.
But that's why when you have Trump always is dissing California because that's anti the people that he's trying to.
It's more laid back.
I mean, that's why it's a big Democrat state.
Yeah. Yeah.
New York too.
Yeah. But New York is a little bit more racist. Well, I think Cali and New York is just as racist, and they have just as many powerful people. It's just that Cali has that perception that is more laid back. But I think if you are a governor or if you have a strong office in Cali, that is pretty much like a king builder for you because Reagan was the same way. He was governor of Cali first before he became president.
Cali.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the president. Fuck
All
that.
the pressure.
I got Cali like this is a good
On
state.
lock.
This
Big
is
state.
people out here.
Yeah.
They with the shit. They with what I'm trying to do.
Everybody already like you already now. Yeah, that's true.
Word. You don't have to try to convince a bunch of people that are not affected by what California is affected by. You don't have to try to convince them that that's a better way of life, because the thing is, the
He's like in his
rural,
own
the
bubble.
South, and the Midwest, it's like we can't get them on board with shit. It's like they live in this world that doesn't exist anywhere else, and they're good with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, the climate change isn't directly affecting them like it is in California with the fires. It's not
you're right.
directly affecting them like it is in New York, because they're on the coast. So, you know, people in the Midwest and in the South, they live in their own little world. Like I say, you know, when you step out of Atlanta, you go an hour away, the majority of the country is like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kim, I think that's what people don't realize about America. I think that we get so encapsulated when we think about Atlanta, Miami,
You have to think
New York.
you have to think.
Nah.
I mean, we think globally, but you have to even just think nationally.
Yeah, like we got to think about states like Alabama, Mississippi, Kansas, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Idaho, like what you said, Montana, Washington State.
The majority of the country is like that, and that's why it's called the heartland, and that's why
true.
that's where all the people go to campaign.
Kentucky,
because if
Tennessee.
you can convince those people,
You
see
good.
what their issues are,
Yeah.
then you know. This dude, man. I mean, he's been going off lately. I know you guys ignore him when he comes on TV. I actually sat there and watched, because I was on a plane. I sat there and watched Fox News, and I really was just like, wow, this is what he says. He was going in. He called Adam Schiff pencil neck.
You got him a pencil neck like we in middle school.
Yeah. He was going in on Joe Biden. He was going in on Kamala Harris. I mean, he was going off. He was saying things that you. But this is why. You know why? Because his friends that he associated with, there's 2 whistleblowers now. Like, so much is going on since I left here. There's 2 whistleblowers now. You heard about that? Mm-hmm. So he's threatening the whistleblower now. He's making everybody feel uncomfortable. What's so funny? Are y'all living it? Yo, he's wildin'.
He's Teflon Don.
He's
man.
wildin'. He is definitely on some Soprano shit. This country is being run like the other episode of The Sopranos. Y'all don't know that? This guy.
Jay Black said that last week. He said it's just like a brand new season of a TV show.
So
called season 45. Yeah.
So the Ukrainians, we talked about the phone call that he's saying, you know, we're gonna stop giving you money unless you find out what's going on with the Bidens. Low key. You know, come to find out, the people that were meeting with the Ukrainians was one, Rudy Giuliani, his lawyer.
That's crazy.
Everybody's coming out saying who the players were. Rudy Giuliani's name came up more, and recently they asked him, you know, is Rudy Giuliani still your lawyer? He's just like, yeah, I think so. Like, he's just even trying to throw Rudy under the bus. He doesn't care. He's gonna take everybody down with him. Now, what's his name? The old governor of Texas, Perry, is that his name? Rick Perry?
Yeah.
Now his name is popping up. He's the energy secretary. They've subpoenaed them. Now they're indicting them. They refuse to answer any of the subpoenas that they're going to try to have these impeachment hearings. And he's saying, you know what? I think what they're doing to me is a witch hunt, and maybe we should indict them. Maybe they should get impeached. So he wants to impeach Nancy Pelosi. Now he wants Adam Schiff, call him pencil neck. He wants him out. Like, it's a mess. Yeah. And you guys think that the only way you can get him out is to vote Bernie Sanders? Really? No. You guys gotta press to get him out of here, because he's doing some shady shit. Mm-hmm. So, with a couple of things that have happened, the former U.S. ambassador to the Ukraine, Marie Yanakovich or something like that. Is that how you spell? Yovanovitch. That's how you say her name. Marie Yovanovitch told lawmakers that she was incredulous and the government had cut short her term as ambassador based, as best as I can recall, to unfounded and false claims by people who clearly questionable motives. The indictment of 2 foreign-born men with ties to the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, revealed a sprawling alleged effort to influence American politics and oust the U.S. ambassador. The 2 men, Len Parnas and Ignor Furman, are accused of funneling foreign money to numerous candidates and communities, including a super PAC supporting the president and the U.S. congressman. Which one, I don't know. On July call between Mr. Trump and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, President Trump urged Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden. So if it's not him doing it, he's getting people around him to do it. And then when they get caught, he's just like, I don't know him. he's really saying, like, I don't know if Rudy Giuliani is still my lawyer or not. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then the more stuff they find out about him, the more he tries to turn it around. You want them to investigate Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. What are your kids doing? What do you have them doing for you on the low? Like, it's never him.
It's always somebody else.
It's always somebody else. And if they find out it's him, he's going to get in trouble.
So how does he keep dodging? Like, I don't
Because
see
you can't
or even understand
people,
how does this person
because
keep
the
getting away
Congress,
with
the
this?
Senate, the people in the House and the people in the Senate, they like, oh, well, we don't know, or we don't know if that's wrong, or we don't know if he should have been doing that, and we really don't know if that phone call was right, and we really don't know if you're supposed to say that to a foreign person, and well, let's talk about it. And I didn't hear it. Did you hear it? Oh, like, they're dodging the issue because each senator has their own agenda. They have to represent their people, right? So if you represent a part of the country that is for this, you're going to be quiet and act like you don't say anything because your people elected you to represent what he's representing. So when it comes down to it, it's going to have to be a majority, right? And there's like, right now the House majority is Republican.
Yeah. Yep.
So some of the Republicans aren't up for re-election.
Yep.
So they might vote for Trump. We don't know. Some of them are retiring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different, and it all goes back to local politics. Like, our representative in Georgia, Isaacson, he's retiring.
Wow.
So the person that comes in after him is only going to have a short time span before he's going to have to get another vote to get reelected because he's only going to run the term of, you know what I'm saying?
Politics at its finest.
But you gotta pay. I mean, if you really want him out, that is. You know what I mean? Because I've seen some people throwing the table like, oh, he might win again, and nothing I can do about it. Bullshit.
Honestly, Kim, I just think that people are tired because with Trump, it's always something in the news. Or with Trump supporters,
But that's.
they
I
always
think
doing
he does it
something
on
wrong.
purpose. He wants
Yeah.
to exhaust you.
Everybody's just
and just keep
fatigued
putting out.
from-
But remember,
from
this
Trump.
guy is still running a campaign. On top of the fact that he's in his capacity as president right now, doing some illegal shit.
Yeah.
He's running a whole campaign
Yeah.
to try to get back in again.
Yeah.
And I don't think they should let him run again.
Yeah, I feel you. Again, I think people are just fatigued from Trump. People don't even want to care about the presidential race, really, because there's so many candidates on the Democratic side.
It's because
then you got
people
Trump
are
on the
being
other
lazy,
side.
and that's why they're just automatically going with Joe Biden.
Yeah, yeah. A
And
familiar
him-
face.
And him and his stories are getting on my nerves. I'm sick of him.
What
Can
was-
y'all pick somebody
What
younger?
was the name of the drug
Corn
dealer?
Pop?
Man, come on. He making these stories up, man.
No, I mean, he could have had a
Man,
hard
ain't
time
no,
with
ain't no
Corn
black
Pop.
dude in the hood named Corn Pop, man.
In the 60s?
Come on.
We don't know
More
what
like
went on.
Junebug, but ain't no Corn Pop. You lying, man.
He said Corn Pop was a bad dude.
And Joe, he out of there too. We ain't got time for Joe either, man. Joe got to go. I'll take Bernie over Joe. I'll take a failing in health Bernie Sanders with a bad heart over Joe Biden any
He
day.
can't even make it, y'all.
I don't care. I'll take him over Joe Biden.
Y'all.
Because I feel like Joe Biden is actually more dangerous than Trump. Because I feel like if he's elected, we'll think that he's for us, but in all actuality, he could care less about us. He's just going to use the black vote.
You guys, you gotta look into Elizabeth Warren and whoever else.
I don't even like her either. I don't like none of them.
Really?
Bernie is the best, but besides Bernie, it's a hard drop-off. Or Marianne Williamson, but after those two, it's a hard drop-off. I don't like Cory Booker. He's a liar. That's already been proven with the Louis Farrakhan thing. Elizabeth Warren, she's a liar. She said
what
she
if
was
he
Native
says
American.
that, and then
She's
when he
not.
gets in, he does
I ain't got
do
time
it.
for no Cory Booker, bro. Like, if you over here lying about Farrakhan, you gonna lie about anything just so you can be in the good graces of white people. That's all it's about at the end of the day. And then with somebody like Elizabeth Warren, you lying about being Native American. So what else are you gonna lie about? Like, all these people are liars, and it's sad.
Well, we gotta pick somebody.
Yeah,
at
I'll
the end
take-
of the day. I mean, we only have a year left.
I think if somebody had a gun to my head, I'll probably choose Bernie.
Yeah. Still?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Kim, I would take a failing Bernie over the rest of those candidates. Everybody else, it's just all talk.
Let's see.
And Kamala, don't even get us started on her. And she got toasted at the debate when they was asking her those real questions. That moderator, she was a black woman. I forgot her name, but she did an excellent job.
We should do it on the CCD page in the story. We should do a poll.
Mm.
Person thing.
We should.
People
Yeah,
who they feel like they can do.
we should.
I mean, yeah, 'cause we can tell, people talk about that now. Like,
Yeah.
you can see, what the temperature is
Mhm.
on the cameras and see, who they land
I love that idea because at first, Kamala, I'll probably say when it first started like a year ago, around the same time, she had most of the steam because she was a younger black woman coming in. So everybody was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because she was,
But then when those receipts came out.
We figure out, like, say if everybody is leaning towards Biden,
Mhm.
whoever, we can start putting out, putting out information about this person's their policies.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're gonna educate. This is who you going for. Let me tell you.
You
why.
need to know why.
You
Yep.
can see, you feel me?
Yeah.
You can see who the top 3 is.
Mhm.
And kind of focus on what they campaign on.
I love that.
So at least if they vote for this person, they know what's going on. They
I love
know
that.
why they voted for him.
Hey, that's a great idea because we can't be voting for names anymore. And I think that's our biggest downfall. Like, we always vote for names, or just because Hillary Clinton was dancing and doing the nay-nay, or she said that she had hot sauce in her bag, oh, she cool, we're going to vote for her.
So
Or-
the latest in the
Gotta be
poll,
smart.
according to the New York Times, this is as of October 11th. What's today?
I think it's the 13th.
So this was as of Friday. After slowly losing ground throughout the summer and early fall, Joe Biden is now ahead of Elizabeth Warren in our polling average. If both candidates stay on their current trajectory, she could overtake Mr. Biden within a week or two. It is far from certain that these trends will hold. There was a slight uptick in our polling average, Mr. Biden this week, for instance, largely because of favorable results in a Fox News poll on Thursday, and Tuesday's Democratic debate in Ohio could give Mr. Biden an opportunity to recover his footing on the national average and test Ms. Warren's status in new leading candidate. Mr. Biden's standing in the polls has not declined dramatically since Trump began attacking him last month. Okay. So nobody's listening to Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
I don't think that we're good, Kim.
Mr. Biden's shifting
think we
support
good.
does not appear to be migrating to any underdog candidate, at least on the national level. Among them, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, and Cory Booker are hoping to pick up some of those votes. At the moment, the voters Mr. Biden is shedding are either moving to Ms. Warren or they're becoming purely undecided. Okay, my hope in voters is not gone. But Pete Buttigieg, I don't know, y'all. Right now, number 1 is still Joe Biden. Elizabeth Warren is number 2. Bernie Sanders is number 3. Pete Buttigieg is number 4. Kamala Harris is number 5. But the dramatic drop between number 3 and number 4 is crazy. So the majority of the people are still stuck with those 3 people.
Oh, I forgot about Yang. Yeah.
Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, and Julian Castro are at the bottom.
I told you, people not fooling with it.
Yeah, no.
It's
I'm
about
just,
the
and these are
electoral
just
college.
polls, and
Yep,
this is
and
just,
swing
trying to
states.
see.
What states are these people in?
I gotta
Right,
be
right,
attacking states like
right,
Ohio and Florida,
right.
swing states.
So after this, the debate is on Tuesday, so everybody check it out, and we'll reconvene next week, and we'll see what you guys think. But just pay attention,
I'll be watching that.
for sure.
Yeah, because Kamala, I feel like this is gonna make or break her right now because she's
Oh,
at
he
4,
started.
right?
He started going in on her too. Did you
Yeah.
see what he said about her?
Who was?
That's how I know that she's gaining steam. Trump. She.
I was saying something about her son not her son. Trump's son tweeted something. Like, I couldn't imagine.
So-
about her being a clown.
So-
She was like, you must not realize what you grew up with. Your whole
So what happened was she was she was at she did a I don't know some event and she was speaking and she was laughing. It was kind of uncomfortable. Like she said something and was laughing at her own joke and you really couldn't hear anybody else laughing but her. So they tweeted that and they were like, Kamala Harris, why does she only one laughing at her jokes? And she retweeted and she was like, you wouldn't know a joke if one raised you.
Yeah, he said, why is Kamala Harris the only person that laughs at her jokes? Always way too long, way too hard. The most disingenuous person in politics after Hillary. And she tweeted back, you wouldn't know a joke if one day.
But stuff like that is dumb. Like, why even acknowledge that?
That's true.
Why?
But what did I tell
For
y'all?
attention.
That's
It's for
a
attention.
That's a Trump tactic. Like that's just like when you playing sports, a nigga talking shit to you to get you out your game. That's all that is.
Who's not even good.
But that's what he's
So you
doing.
ain't even
That's
gotta
what
pay
Trump
attention.
does, right?
Yes,
You playing into his game.
exactly.
That's how he go. I mean, I wouldn't say that's how he gonna win, but
That's how he
Because
could lose.
because it shows that what he's saying is bothering you.
That's his strategy.
Yeah, that's all what it is. And my only thing is, if you're trying to be presidential, professional, don't even acknowledge that. Keep it pushing. It don't even matter.
I mean, everybody has their own strategy. That's why there's 20 people. I'm all for it.
And look, and that's the problem.
I'm all for
that's
it.
why it's 20.
I'm for all meet people where they are. Call me petty.
It's dumb.
Arguments and it's just like.
But did she win anything out of that? No.
She did.
No, she didn't.
I mean, that
What'd
was a
she
corny
win?
clapback. She could have come a little harder than that. But I'm just saying, I'm all for meeting people where they are.
And like, what is the clapback gonna win?
That's what I'm saying. It's not gonna get you votes.
Bigger picture, like,
Because it's gonna crush his ego.
No, it's not.
If it's really, this is
It's
all
all
ego
entertainment.
driven.
It's
It's
all
all ego
entertainment.
if
driven.
that's the case, if it's ego driven, he want that attention. He wants you to come back.
That's the
And
point.
And you come
That's
back,
why he said what
but
he
when
said.
you come back and smash him and
But
he
if
feels
you come back and
stupid,
don't say
and then he'll
shit,
stop doing it. He's not gonna keep coming for her. None of them say anything.
It's just like with a female, a woman. Because the female,
Right.
She gonna get frustrated when you not get mad.
If you're not talking to a woman, and you sort of ignore her.
And you just say, "All right, cool."
Now she get frustrated.
Yep.
She trying to figure
Because
out
she wants a
what's
reaction
going
out of
on,
you.
like, and it's just like she.
Sending that okay text after you send a whole 2-page
Yeah, like-
story, and the guy just says okay dot. You gonna blow up.
I don't know. He comes for people and he calls them names and nobody says anything.
No, everybody says everything because that's why he's always in the news.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime he tweets something, oh my God, Trump said that this country
But
isn't
it's
worth
not
anything.
the person saying it. It's the news saying it.
But it's driving from people on Twitter.
Everybody that's pushing
Oh,
it.
you remember? It was like 2 weeks ago with John Legend's wife or something when he said something about them, and
And
they
she
started going back and
snapped
forth.
back and that was it.
Okay. And what-
Nothing happened. Hey, Trump is still president of the United
He's
States.
still talking shit. He
So
on to the
then-
next person.
it is
I'm gonna
so-
talk shit to the next person.
But I
He
bet
the
you
50 Cent of politics.
he won't say anything else about her though.
Yes, he will. Kim, he's the 50 Cent of politics. He gonna keep doing it because it goes viral every time. He knows that everybody's watching it. And I'm gonna be real, people love it. People who say that they hate Trump, they love hating Trump. Because that's what they talk about every day.
He's entertaining. We all love to be entertained.
Yeah.
He really
Everybody-
thinks that
He's a reality TV
He really
star.
thinks that he should be saying this stuff and that he shouldn't be talked back to because he is who he is. He's a narcissist. And no, fuck you. I'm gonna talk to you like you talk to everybody else. You're not special, dude.
I feel it. It's just he thrives. Trump is this monster who thrives just like how it thrives off of kids being afraid of him. Trump thrives off of people giving him attention. And the moment that you stop giving him what he needs, he'll just deflate.
No.
We'll
I just
see.
want him gone. Whatever we gotta do, we're just gonna have to
Yeah.
do it.
Little Donald. Just leave him alone.
What was next? Oh my
Botham Jean?
gosh. Yes.
We want to talk about that because you weren't here last week to talk about it. Dave Anderson, he went in. Shout out to Dave. But I want to hear Kim's perspective. Just seeing the judge. Tariq Nasheed calls her Tammy the Mammy. Everybody calls her that now. That's hilarious. But the judge, how she was giving Amber Geiger a Bible and saying that God will forgive you, that's a violation of church and state right there. She's been on a PR run trying to fix everything. Saying that her hair, when they were going through her hair, they were searching for contraband, yet the bailiff did not have any gloves on to go through her hair, so that's a lie. And then to even go inside of a courtroom, if any of you have been inside of a courtroom, you have to go through everything. You have to take off your belt, everything, just to even make it inside there. So I'm pretty sure if they were searching for contraband, they would have already checked Amber Geiger. So again, you were rubbing her hair and you were pandering towards her. So and then a day or weeks after the trial came to its end, Botham Jean's next door neighbor, Joshua Brown, he was murdered, and the Dallas police are trying to say there was a drug deal going wrong. However, what people don't talk about was Joshua Brown's friend, and Joshua was shot a month after Botham Jean was murdered last year in November. That's what people don't talk about. And he was saying he felt like somebody was after him. He said that, and this was in November of 2018. And then report said that Joshua, that he was in Cali at the time of the trial, and he didn't want to come back to Texas. He was not trying to fool with the trial. He said he did not want that attention. He was in fear for his life. He didn't want to do it. And then they forced him to do the trial. He does it, and then in less than a week, he's murdered. Something's not right. Something is not right. And then y'all are trying to tell us, don't be conspiracy theorists. That's what the Dallas Police Department said. Don't question, don't be, conspiracy theorists and things like that. But y'all are trying to tell us that he had 12 pounds of marijuana and that he wants to sell dope days after being on national television. And that guys from Louisiana drive all the way to Dallas for some weed.
When they put this story, did they catch? I asked y'all this the other day. They caught him.
Yeah. Or 2 out of the 3 guys they
When did
caught.
catch him?
right when they released the story.
Because I'm about to say,
You see what I'm saying?
They putting all this information out. It's a super deep. They put out.
It's very detailed.
About
12 pounds of weed, $4,000 he had.
From Louisiana, like it's a lot.
Exact city saying like Alexandria.
Get the people yet already.
They said one is still on the run or something like that.
Oh, but no, it makes sense that somebody snitching.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, they didn't have anybody in custody. How do they know all of this? That these people came from here. And
It just doesn't sound right. Why would he put himself in that situation? And then they were saying that he was part of the roofing industry. He had like in real estate. And even if, worst case, let's say that he was selling weed on the side. Why would he be selling 12 pounds of weed after he was just on a high profile case? Like everybody knows who he is right now. I just don't get it.
I saw bits and pieces, but I didn't get a chance to look too deeply into it when I was out of town. But according to the Dallas Morning News, police announced at a news conference Tuesday afternoon that his killing was the result of a drug deal. They had 3 suspects in the case. They also said rumors that the department was involved in the man's death were false. The community leaders needed to be careful about spreading them because their words may jeopardize the integrity of the city of Dallas and the DPD. As if the integrity of the DPD wasn't already compromised when Amber Geiger walked into somebody's house.
See what I'm saying though, Kim? Like they're outwardly already trying to fix it and saying, don't question us.
Okay, here are several questions raised. Joshua Xavier Brown was a neighbor of Botham Jeans at the Southside Flats. He testified last month at the trial. He's 28 years old, originally from Jacksonville, Florida, moved to Lancaster in 2008. He played football as a defensive back in Lancaster High School, attended 2 community colleges before going to the University of South Florida. He played 8 games in the 2012 season and studied in interdisciplinary science. After college, he worked as a roofing contractor. He was managing Airbnb rentals in Atlanta and Los Angeles while living in Dallas. He was shot October 4th. He was fatally shot October 4th outside of an apartment complex on the 4600 block of Cedar Springs Road near Dallas North Tollway. So he wasn't shot at that apartment complex, which I thought. He was taken to Parkland Memorial Hospital. He died. Witnesses said several gunshots were heard. Silver 4-door sedan sped away.
And he was shot in the mouth.
Tuesday, police released arrest warrants, affidavits for 3 suspects, saying the 3 men had driven to Dallas from Alexandria, Louisiana, in a plot to rob Brown. One of the suspects was already in custody, and authorities apprehended a second suspect Tuesday evening in Louisiana. Lee Merritt, an attorney who represents John's family in a lawsuit, initially tweeted that Brown had been shot in the mouth and the chest, later backed off his statement, saying he'd also heard from witnesses who said Brown was shot in the side and in the butt. The government official who spoke to Dallas Morning News on condition of anonymity said he was shot in the back and in the thigh. Dallas Judge Clay Jenkins wrote in a tweet he was not shot in the mouth and the head, but was shot more than one time. So, that's what happened.
It don't sound right at all, Kim.
Brown testified in the Amber Geiger trial. He testified that he could hear 2 voices but couldn't make out what they were saying. He said he did not hear anyone giving loud police commands, despite Amber Geiger's testimony that she did. This is a mess. He was a key witness. Prosecutors did not immediately respond to questions about how crucial Brown's testimony was to their case, but based on what I just read, it was very crucial because he disputed the fact that she said stop, which brings into account the stand your ground versus the castle doctrine, because it says you have a duty to retreat, and if she did not in fact say that, then she did not retreat, and that's why she got 10 years in prison. So he was a very crucial witness. That's bullshit. 2 jurors told ABC News that the jury didn't need much time to find Amber Geiger guilty of murder. Did Brown have a criminal record? When asked by a prosecutor whether he had some issues in the past with police officers and the criminal justice system, he acknowledged that he had. The prosecutor mentioned 2 convictions, but search for public records shows several additional cases. He was arrested in 2010 on a misdemeanor theft charge in Lancaster, 30 days in jail. Austin police found another person passed out in a car. He's not been like a big drug dealer. He got convicted in 2016 of a drug possession charge in Leon County, 120 miles southeast of Dallas. Okay, so now, this is another conspiracy, but now I'm thinking that they may even have planted him in the case.
they probably on some what's the Central Park?
Oh yeah.
How they told them what to say.
Yep.
They probably
Coerced them.
saying this and.
Yep.
Especially and then you know for the story to come out a week for him to get killed.
Something's not right.
And for the story that they're pushing about him being a drug dealer.
And 100.
Knew he was a drug dealer before.
Okay, so here.
Yeah.
So after.
So then that can help the case of wow.
And it can help because, from my understanding, she's up for parole in 5 years, right?
Oh, so then
she
they
goes to court. She can. That's evidence for her.
And then she can say that he's not even a credible source because he's a drug dealer.
Yeah, after his 2016 conviction on a drug possession charge in Leon County, 120 miles southeast of Dallas, Brown was sentenced to 100 days behind bars. In that case, the deputy found a small bag of cocaine in Brown's wallet in a car parked in a fire lane outside of a Centerville gas station, according to Daily Mail. Brown later wrote to a judge from state jail saying he planned to put the whole series of events behind him and start off on a clean path after his release. And they have a picture of the letter that he wrote to the judge. Brown was arrested again in Carrollton in 2017 on misdemeanor counts of marijuana possession, evading arrest, resisting arrest, unlawful carrying of a weapon. Okay. See, when you start writing the judge and all that shit, and they be like, okay, dude, we got you, so what you willing to do to get, you know what I mean? How bad you really want this shit off your record?
Like you talking to a pimp.
Why didn't the defense lawyer bring up his criminal history? That's a good question. That's what we've been asking. Geiger's attorney knew about Brown's past brushes with the law, but did not attempt to use them to impeach him as a witness. Oh, to raise questions about his credibility. Okay, why not? According to Toby Shook, one of the lawyers representing Geiger, that was because they thought his testimony helped their client. How so? We actually view Joshua Brown as a witness who corroborated Amber's story. Oh, really? So you thought he was going to help you, and he told the truth.
So when he didn't serve their agenda, it was time to get rid of him. Wow.
Brown had testified that he heard two distinct voices. Both couldn't understand exactly what they were saying. Okay. Though he said the tone was as if they were surprised to be seeing each other, this matched Geiger's testimony of walking into what she thought was her apartment, being startled to see John there and telling him to show his hands and yell, hey, 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 Shook said. Okay. John's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit as well against Geiger in the city of Dallas in October, arguing that Geiger, who was off-duty but still in uniform, behaved as an on-duty officer, and that the Dallas Police Department has a pattern of using excessive force against minorities, and yes, they do. Did he still live in Southside Flats? That was another thing we talked about. No, he did not. He moved from the Southside Flats after Botham Jean was killed.
You remember what I said before you read that, Kim? That he was saying that after he was shot at, he was out.
According to an arrest warrant affidavit, Brown and another man got into a fight outside of a Northwest Dallas strip club on my birthday. How about that? Last year. When Brown and his friends tried to leave, the 26-year-old Kendall Dawson Mars grabbed a gun from his SUV, handed it to the man Brown had fought. The man started shooting, killing 25-year-old Nicholas Diggs and striking Brown in the right foot. So he has been shot before.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he's hung out with some shady characters. He's never been like a huge drug dealer. He probably sniffed a little coke, smoked a little weed. I don't see anything in here that leads me to believe that all this,
he's some type of kingpin.
Somebody needed to come from Louisiana and shoot him up. You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, it kind of go, if it is, if the story is not true, it goes along, it's a believable story. And that's a story they can put out to us like, look, he already had a history.
See?
Dealing with drugs.
So why is it hard to believe?
Why is it hard to believe?
Yeah.
Like, they probably had that to put together the whole time. Like, you don't plant these drugs on me.
Yeah.
And, you know, make it seem like it's believable.
It's sad because if we aren't the perfect human, if we don't have a perfect record, they can use anything on your record.
It's not that. It goes, to me, it goes again to speak to the majority of the people in this country. They live in their own little world. They don't have to interact with many young black men, young women, young people of color.
Stereotype.
And the stereotype goes a long way with them.
I always say it's our job to promote us in a good light. Like,
it is. It absolutely is.
Shout out to our innovators of the week.
You can't expect them to push
our good stories.
Well, that's what.
We should be on the other side combating this weed story. Like, no, this man had a roofing company. This man, we should
real estate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we gonna be on this woke shit or this black, we gotta be all around the board.
Yeah.
Like, we can't let these news outlets
do stuff like this. Yeah.
We got to use our news outlets and push stories, and we can't tell lies and nothing like that.
Yeah.
But let's still push the facts. They facts in a sense. They just bad facts.
Yeah.
Or negative facts.
There's still an agenda behind it.
Yeah. Push the positive facts.
Yep.
And that's what Lee Merritt and Sean King, and that's what they do. That, you know, when you think of all what goes on during these police shootings, you have a whole team of lawyers. You have your defense attorney, you have the people that go on social media and defend you, your public image, because, you know, there's a smear campaign that goes on one side. So you have to combat that with all the positive things. And that's what they did with Botham. They have to humanize them. Yeah. They have to show, and that's what you need. Like, you need people, and you have to be careful. And that's the thing too with social media. Like, another thing that they showed about Amber Geiger was on her Pinterest account, and how she was just like, yeah, you know, just those memes that go around, like, yeah, you know, I'm a gun toting whatever, you know, like bragging about being, you know, I got a hairy trigger finger, you know, like, you can't be putting that stuff out there unless that's the image you want to project in the worst case scenario. I think about that all the time. Yeah.
You know, too, when it comes to our young black men, we have to be careful with what we post on social media, because as you notice, they try to post pictures of Joshua Brown throwing up a middle finger. So then it's like, oh, he's a thug. So we just got to be conscious, and I know it sucks because everybody isn't held to the same standard, but we got to think about that stuff, what we post, because we never know what could happen to us. And then Trayvon was young, but him posting pictures of him smoking weed, that served their agenda.
Not even in a negative, like you might become, like, say, you might try to run for the president.
Yeah, political office.
You feel me?
Yeah, and they try to scrub some stuff.
They try to use some shit for your past.
Yep.
So you just gotta be, like, people who want to post everything you do, like,
yeah,
it ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
It ain't for the world.
Yep.
You have to be careful.
Think about 5 years from now, if I'm in a very great role, what if somebody finds this? What I want for
opportunity of a lifetime, you finally got it.
Yeah.
Somebody put up some old shit in it.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
And that's the thing I tell people, and you guys always get on me about how I hate Dallas. It's just the whole culture.
No, I get it now.
It's like, and you guys like, oh no, and well, it's just the football team. Like, these people really only see not all. I have to put that out there.
But
not speaking.
But the people in power, yeah.
I mean, you know, football is huge in Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. It's to the point where, you know, we do it to our kids. Oh, he's a big boy. You're going to make him play football.
Player. Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? Instead of just letting him be a boy.
So that's what they see you as. You're not going to get the academic push maybe from your high school teachers, unless you're, you know, a part of the football team or, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, it's so much deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Kim. And speaking on you hating Dallas, last night you posted something. You can check out my article on ctdatl.com. The shooting of Atatiana Johnson. When you
there was another police shooting of someone in their own home. A lady, her door was left open. Her neighbor called the police, and was, you know, what do you call those phone calls? That
it was
welfare check.
A welfare check,
and the cop got there. It says Atatiana Jefferson. Is that how you say? Atatiana Jefferson, 28, died at 2:30 a.m. in her home on the 1200 block of East Allen Avenue, according to Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office. Police originally said Jefferson lived at the home, but the medical examiner said she lived in Dallas. She was in the home with a nephew. Neighbor James Smith told Fort Worth Star-Telegram that he was sorry. He even called the police. I'm shaken, I'm mad, I'm upset, and I feel it's partially my fault. He told the newspaper, if I ever dialed the police department, she'd still be alive. 2 officers responded to the neighbor's call within minutes and began searching outside the home. Fort Worth police released body camera footage that showed the officer who openly fired moving around the home, looking through a door, entering what appeared to be the backyard with a flashlight. At 1:34 p.m. mark in the video, the officer in the yard spins toward one of the home's windows and yells, "Put your hands up, show me your hands," before shooting into the window. All in less than 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the police officer said that he saw a figure standing by the window.
Yeah, because why are you out in my yard with a flashlight, Mr. Officer? Can I look out the window and see what's going on? I'm in here with my nephew.
Yep. And it's just scary, again, that
she died at the scene.
Mind her business. One shot, fatally wounded. You can catch the full article at ctdatl.com. But it's sad, though, that, again, in the same area, a similar case happens, and just minding your business at 3 o'clock in the morning, just chilling, and that a cop is screaming, "Put your hands up," and then you don't even have time to even try to put your hands up, and it's over with. And she's a woman. And I'm not saying that women are weaker than men, but I'm just saying, like, where's the compassion? She is a woman inside of the comforts of her own home. And her neighbor said that it was a non-emergency phone call. He just wanted to make sure that she was okay. That's all that he was trying to do. He was just trying to look out for her. And the fact that we can't even do that with the police shows us exactly where we
Police
stand.
did not immediately release the name of the officer involved. He is described as a white man who has been with the Fort Worth Police Department since April of 2018.
Yep.
The officer is on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Smith said he called the non-emergency police number and asked someone to check on his neighbor. He said he heard a loud bang about 15 minutes later. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. It's just sad.
He said if you don't feel safe with the police department, then who do you feel safe with, sir?
Nobody. And Kim, it's crazy because even in my neighborhood, it's like one of the most heavily policed places. And this is one of the safest neighborhoods, but it's so heavily policed. And I tell people, like, it's just sad for us as black people that when something is happening, we don't even want to call the police.
So they said they found a gun in the house, but it wasn't that.
And that doesn't matter. It does not matter.
You have a right. And where's the NRA in situations like this?
Yeah, you brought up a great point. Nowhere to be found.
They're always pro-gun ownership, but when it's a black person, they're just like,
it's a thug. Or
no, they don't come out and defend them. Like, no,
right.
They have the right to have this gun police department. Why are you afraid of people with guns?
And then,
why don't they come out and say that? And that just makes me think that, like.
Or, Kim, here's my question. Just like what we saw with Joshua Brown, Botham Jean, when they said that he had marijuana. What if she didn't even have a gun in her home and they just planted one? That's always a possibility. Just so that they
I don't
can
even
have
think
a
it's
loophole.
that deep. Everybody has a gun. Texas is don't mess with Texas, and they take that as like.
Kim, I feel you, but my only thing is I don't put nothing past the police department.
Yeah, no, I don't put anything past them, but it doesn't even have to. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't have to do with anything because that's her constitutional right to have a gun inside of her home.
Like they planted a gun. Like a gun, you have the right to own, just like you have the right to own a pound of sugar.
And then I don't like how when they release statements and see people, I think that we don't look deep into people's first statements when it comes to the press. That was intentional for them to say that they found a gun in her home, just to leave that small window for people to actually question
because
was she a threat. Yeah, because why does that detail matter? Everybody has a gun inside of their home.
Because the initial reports are always, like you said, and to make it seem like the police are right.
Yeah. Very passive aggressive, so they can say, "Oh, I wasn't trying to say anything about it," but yes, you were by saying that she had a gun. She was not a threat at all.
She was a med student.
Wow, and only 28 years old, and she seemed like a very sweet woman when you look at her pictures, all of that stuff. It's so weird because why don't you assess the situation? Just like with Amber Geiger, like what type of training are they getting? Do you just walk in and just start shooting?
Yeah.
Every time.
Apparently that's what they do.
Assess the situation. And why are you so afraid? The cop was saying that he was afraid. Why are you afraid? Or
you don't have any business being a cop.
Yeah. Or like if you are afraid, how do you not overcome your fear? Why do you let your fear take over?
Your judgment.
Mind you, these people are supposed to be trained and y'all supposed to be protecting us, but y'all are afraid. Was he afraid because he was in a black neighborhood?
Good question.
Something got to change, but I think right now, I mean, I'm tired of marches, but something has to change, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because we've seen the same case.
Well,
happen.
you know, one thing they were doing was boycotting it, and, you know, everyone said it was for nothing, so.
And boycotting what?
Whatever.
Are you talking about the NFL?
A few things.
I mean, I'm going to be real with you, Kim. Boycotting the NFL is not going to stop people from being shot. It's a sport. Like, I don't see how that even correlates. Because at the end of the day, like, the NFL is still going to happen. That's never going to stop. Right. Yeah, they're going to start snapping.
She was 28-year-old graduate of Xavier University and lived with her nephew.
It's wild, man. And it's crazy because...
This all happened in less than 3 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't even have a chance, Kim. And then, again, the neighbor, he emphasized that he made sure it was a non-emergency phone call. So the moment that he said it's a non-emergency... Huh?
They put the tape out for the call?
Not yet.
They put the tape out of the... They already put the cop video out.
Yeah, on the body cam. And then the neighbor, he actually spoke. And he was saying that he made sure that he told them it's a non-emergency. Like, I just want to make sure that she's okay because I see that the door's open and it's like 3:30 in the morning. That's it. Like, he wasn't implying that somebody broke into the house, nothing. He just wanted to make sure that she was fine. He called the
non-emergency number.
Yeah, he made sure that he did that.
He didn't call 911. He called the 214 blah, blah, blah and said, I just want somebody to come check on my neighbor.
And, like, he didn't even say, oh, I feel like somebody broke into her home. It's just I want to make sure because I see like that's like Kim living right beside me, and I know Kim, and it's 3:30 in the morning, and Kim's lights are on, and her doors
open.
Yeah, you can't even do nothing now. Botham John was eating ice cream and playing music, and you get killed inside of your own apartment. Now with Atatiana Johnson, she's sitting down playing video games, or her nephew was, and she gets murdered.
The whole video that they show of the police body cam is less than 2 minutes. I'm sitting here looking at it right now.
Something's not right about that. Do you think it was like chopped and screwed a little bit? It was edited somewhat to.
No, here, look. We can hear it. Do you hear anything? It's just him walking around her yard. You see it? We have a link to, I mean, you can check out on CTD_ATL Instagram. We have the article, and you can check out the video that we're watching. It's been circulated all over social media. I mean, it's only 2 minutes, but we're looking at it right now. And he just goes around. He goes through the yard. He's looking through the windows. He's got his flashlight.
I'll make sure to post that on the website too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And let's see they said it's only 3 seconds between the time he says.
He didn't even give her a chance.
I don't even hear anything. What is it that he hears that's making him scared? Like, I can see if you heard people running.
Well, it doesn't matter what you heard.
Through
it's just
stuff.
like, man, why does it take that? Why does it take you pulling out a gun and actually firing?
Oh, they show the gun.
Yeah, with the gunfire, it lit up.
This is ridiculous. Yeah.
But what does that have to do with anything, man?
It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
And her defense, she was probably afraid. She don't know what's going on. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing, man.
So that's another hashtag.
Wow. On a brighter note, though, about black people actually doing something positive, Oprah and Tyler Perry. Oprah donated $13 million to what we were talking about in a previous episode. Morehouse College is facing some huge financial difficulty. They were going to have to furlough people. Yeah. So Oprah stepped in and contributed $13 million. Tyler Perry opened up his Tyler Perry studio. I didn't know that there was a tour that you could take. Yeah.
Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I saw that. I might have to see.
So he now is the only black person in this country to own an independent studio.
And it's the biggest studio
in the biggest studio in the country. It's like
bigger than
all of them combined. Paramount, Universal.
Acres.
Yep.
And I think also that he's gonna have housing for sex trafficking victims, with the certain parts of the studio, and then like he's trying to create like living spaces for people, so he can have his own town inside of his studio, which I think is super dope.
And then
it's a military base.
So people were living there.
Yeah.
The military, like, they don't leave their base.
Yeah.
Right. They have. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a whole city.
That's amazing.
So if Trump tries to incite another civil war, we all gonna take off and go live over there?
No, Tyler Perry.
We have to get an army and all that.
Right. But I think that, and somebody said this, with Tyler Perry, he gets so much flack, with the Medea stuff, and people call it buffoonery. But at the end of the day, that was able to create this. And I think sometimes we have to have a sacrifice where you have to do things that you're not comfortable with doing, so you can have something greater later on down the line. And I think now entertainment and film is our new weapon. And I think that we don't have to always think that, we have to have guns. Of course we need guns, and we need to protest. But I think that by us owning
some
film,
art is actually a protest.
Stuff like that helps out a lot. And I think that that's revolutionary and it's huge.
Yep.
So shout out to Tyler Perry, man.
Yeah.
But he needs to make some dope films now, though. You don't have to keep making Medea now. You good. You already made it. So we'll see what happens out of that.
All right. Oh, man. Want to give a shout out. Our friend of the show got into some
legal troubles, as they
legal
say.
issues. Yeah. And we just want to make sure that he's good. And send a shout out and prayers out to Reza and his family. Yeah. And, we hope to get to talk to him to find out all what's going on. Because, things like this happen, especially when you have a huge platform and you're trying to get people to be aware of certain situations.
Yeah.
And so, just pay attention to what's going on, do your research, and we're going to have to make sure that he's good and have him come through, or maybe get him to call and talk to us.
Well,
and see if he
things
needs.
are looking like we will have that interview. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But
We'll see. So
if that
stay
happens, it'll be
tuned.
fire.
We'll let you guys
Yeah.
know. We're
Yeah.
gonna get Reason in to give us some info about
Yeah.
what happened with that. So, like I said, watch the debate on Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's A3C weekend in Atlanta, and I missed all the activities. I had to go home. I had a death in the family. My sister passed away a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So, keep my family in prayer.
Most definitely.
And we will speak to you guys next week. Make sure you follow CTD_ATL on Instagram, connecting the dots on wherever you watch your podcast at,
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, and go to the Google Play Store,
Right.
and you check us out. And you follow us on Facebook. Like
Facebook.
us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
The website.
The website, ctdatl.com.
Yep.
Caleb has been writing some dope articles.
appreciate it,
He's
Ken.
been
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
Who's the other writers we got?
Oh, I think Tiara, Bo. Shout out to my man Bo, who comes through here all the time. His was dope. Bo, he wrote like 2 poems like out of nowhere. It was fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very creative, very creative. Tiara, Kim, she was like speaking to the ladies. I loved it when she was talking about how to navigate with dating, in
Atlanta.
So I thought that was really cool. So
Yeah,
The Innovator of the Week.
Innovator of the Week. Yep. So yeah. Yep. So, Innovators of the Week, like we trying to highlight people, and y'all can just subscribe for $1 a month, very, very cheap. So we just trying to highlight people. We're trying to build our staff of writers. So anybody that's interested in writing, even if you aren't like a professional, quote unquote, writer, if you just want to express your thoughts, we are the platform for that. So reach out to us.
Yeah, and shout out
most
to everyone that's watching. We thank you so much for supporting us, and I thank you so much for inboxing us stuff, keeping us up on what's going on and things that you need us to either talk about or investigate or bring light to.
Yeah.
And we appreciate everybody that
Yeah.
watches. So, we'll check you guys out next week.
All right. Peace.